Welcome everybody to a new episode of Musiccast, the music podcast where we don't really talk about music, but why these songs are so amazing and everybody should be hearing them. As always, my name is Peter and you can follow us on pretty much any social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just look us up and we'll be there. Remember to go to Spotify and you can follow the two playlists, Spotify Musiccast playlist, where you can listen to the two songs that we're going to mention here today, plus all the other songs from other episodes, and Music Mornings. That's a playlist that I'm adding one song every day as I'm on my way to work, and you can have mid stuff in there. It's gonna be crazy as I like to be. So yes, now we're on YouTube. That was pretty much the introduction. And for this week, I have a friend of mine that I got to know through another podcast. Is TailwindZ. Go ahead, my friend, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is TailwindZ, and I am a video game composer as well as just video game composer and then music producer.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. How you been?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm good. Chilling. It was we're recording this on a Saturday, and I gotta say it was a smooth Saturday for me. So that's
pretty smooth.
So you know a little bit about this, and I like always to have musicians, producers, composer. First time that I have a video game composer, so it's gonna be an interesting one.
Pleasure.
So would you like me to start with my song, or you want to go first?
Let's start with your song.
All right. My song, which I know you like to do remixes as well sometimes and play with music, I decided to go with, and correct me if I'm saying it wrong, Madeon is a French DJ.
I know of Madeon.
Okay, Madeon, there you go. So you probably already know the song, which is not his. It's a remix that he made, I think it was in 2011, called Pop Culture.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a remix. He took 39 songs that he liked and made a 3-minute song out of them.
Oh, wow.
Somehow, I don't know why it's still on YouTube. I mean, he doesn't have any copyright from 39 different songs. But I mean, that's good.
Well, the copyright whole system is a little wonky when it comes to remixes.
Really?
It just depends. Yeah, so it's a little bit of leeway, but at the same time, it's like we have to. It's like trudging waters, sort of.
Okay. So he's been lucky for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And let's keep it like that because I actually really like the song. I don't think I'm gonna put it in the Spotify playlist because I haven't found it there. I think it's only on his YouTube channel, so sorry if you're following the playlist. I like it because it reminds me of a time. It's from 2011, so you have songs within that era, you have something a little bit older, and I get to know it pretty much 2019, 2020. So it's not, that I've been following him for a long time. But I went back to my high school years, to my elementary school, and it was cool. It was cool to remind, radio and getting to the new songs when you heard it in that time.
Yeah.
Which takes me to, how did you get into music? What decided that you know what, I'm going to compose and I'm going to play with it?
So all of my life, I've always been around music. The funny thing is, my father actually played, crazy enough, the bagpipes of all things. Yeah, it's insane. But I've always had just this sort of inkling for music. Like when I was a little kid, I would play piano. I got piano lessons, although I didn't stick to them, and I wish I did. And in elementary school, I started doing percussion, and then I did marching band in high school in the drum line. And then towards my senior year, I realized I really want to keep doing something with music. And at first I was going to be a band director, but then I was like, I want to make my own music and see how that goes. And then it's just been a passion.
Awesome. I was in marching band when I was in elementary school as well. Huh. Interesting, but I never got to do any instrument. So you practice piano? Any other instrument that
I
you actually
mean,
practice, or you just dabble a little bit?
I dabble with everything nowadays because I just don't have the time of day to be able to learn something all the way through. Unfortunately, although I would love, if there's one instrument I would love to learn more than
Mhm.
anything, it would be the violin,
Oh
because you can
wow,
make some beautiful stuff on the violin.
wow, interesting choice, but so good, so good. And then you are now within video games. You're going more into electronic music.
Yes, although I am starting to learn a little bit more about orchestration, because that's going to be needed if I want to really get any leeway into the field, because it's
Okay.
important to have a vast knowledge of all aspects of music and how to make it.
Right.
So
And what got you
it's been
there?
fun.
What got you into video game composer or electronic music? Was a song, a
Um,
family member?
So what got me into electronic music was I had a friend who I've always been friends with my entire life. We don't really talk anymore, but
Oh,
basically he introduced me to the world of electronic music, and then I slowly got into it, and then it's just stuck around.
cool, cool. And then video games appear in the formula.
Yeah. I mean, I've
Okay.
always been a fan of video game music, but and I would always listen to video game music on YouTube all the way back from like even 2006.
Oh my
Like
God.
I think one of the most memorable ones that, at least for me, when I was a kid, that I would listen to was a heavy metal remix, funny enough, of Red's theme from Pokemon Red and Blue. And it's amazing. I don't know if you've heard of it or not,
No, I
but
haven't.
I'll send you a link to it after the podcast. It's amazing, and it's still up. I
Oh,
One of the best remixes I've ever heard, and still to this day, like, it's amazing.
okay. Okay, cool for that. So if we're entering video games, so what would you say is your favorite genre of video games?
It would have to be probably RPGs, like a tactic or a strategy RPG. I'm a big fan of the Fire Emblem series,
Okay.
and as well as like Pokemon, of course. I have
Mm-hmm. I can
that
see
in the
Lucario there.
background.
I mean,
Yeah.
your camera froze, but I can see Lucario in there, or two
Yep.
Lucarios.
Yep, one of them's an exclusive Pumpkin Parade Lucario. That's like
Oh,
$200 now, but
wow.
we'll go past that.
Okay.
That's not what this episode's about. But yeah, I like the music from RPGs like that as well.
Okay.
But then I'm also really big into platform fighting games, and specifically Rivals of Ether. And that's where I'm really well
Hmm.
known, because I've made music for custom characters, two of which specifically are going to be in the base roster of the game.
Oh, wow.
So I'm actually going to be credited in the game. So it's amazing that I've
Nice.
gotten to this point.
Nice, nice. And you continue to grow. I can tell that if you got to this point, you just gotta keep moving and it's gonna get there.
Yeah.
And I have another podcast some people already know about. So it's pretty much a necessity that I have to ask you. What do you think about Sonic and the franchise of Sonic the Hedgehog?
I'm going to go from just the music point of view, because I was in an episode before where we talked about our opinions with the Sonic series.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you can find that somewhere. But my opinion of Sonic music is
Mm-hmm.
I freaking love it.
Yes.
I'm in love what they're doing with Sonic Colors Ultimate, and I have been wanting to do this for years now, and I think I'm gonna do it now because they're remastering it, and
Okay.
they remix the whole soundtrack. I'm going to remix the whole soundtrack the way I want it.
Oh, cool.
I've been wanting to do that for years now, just remixing every single track in the game, but it's a big endeavor, so I've just been nervous on doing it, but I'm
If
so excited for
Sega,
this game.
if
Yeah.
Sega can do it, you can do it too, right?
Yeah. If a whole bunch of men can do it, one man can as well.
That's right. That's right. No, I like it. I like it. Oh God. And so we're good. You're good already with the headshot zone, and now you're good with music cast. But have you heard the rumor that Michael Jackson was actually part of the composing of one of the Sonic games? I think it was Sonic 2.
It was Sonic 3,
3.
actually.
Yeah, it was Sonic 3. Do you think that's true or it's just a internet myth?
I think it's true because Ice
Hmm.
Cap Zone is a really good example of Michael Jackson's style.
Okay.
It's specifically in the notations and the structuring. Um, it's very similar to like, I guess you could say maybe like Smooth Criminal or maybe Billy. I wouldn't say Billie Jean as much, but it has
Okay.
that sort of vibe as well. I feel like that's where like Ice Cap Zone has that sort of inspiration whenever I listen to it. Is like it has the note structuring of Smooth Criminal, but then it has the sort of feel of Billie Jean a little bit with
Okay.
like the pads.
Okay. I always wanted to ask somebody on the music side of part because I'm a music lover, but I haven't really studied music in any point in my life. I would say I listen and I watch bunch of documentaries, but they told me about the structure and stuff. Eh, so it's good that you're finding that, and now I think I'm gonna play it again and try to compare it, probably hear into the song,
Yeah,
and we'll see what goes from there. I'll tell you what. Would you like to listen to my song and we go back and we start talking about yours?
absolutely.
All right. Go ahead, everybody. Sorry, you cannot go to Spotify this time, but you can grab a good pair of headphones and go to YouTube. Look for Madeon Pop Culture Live Mashup, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. How was that?
Pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that takes talent. I mean, I don't know. It was impossible for me to identify all the songs,
Oh
and
yeah, absolutely.
he puts them in the description, so you can try to challenge yourself to find it. But it's a good mix. I could listen to this in a disco on the radio, and yeah.
Yeah, it definitely gave me vibes of like a modern sort of like synth wave-esque sort of song where it's like a synth wave from the 80s but adapted to the late 2010s.
Yeah, yeah, and it's obviously that he's a fan of Daft Punk. I think you can hear
Yeah.
that along the whole song. He decided to go with that. So yeah, you have my part. I'm really interested in what we're gonna have on your side. So, Tailwind, tell me what you got for Musicast.
All right, so the song I decided to choose is Braken, To the Stars. And this is a very well-known song from Monster Cat, which is the broadcasting channel or record label that, of course, releases electronic music. This song came out in like 2014,
Mm-hmm.
2015, or something along those lines. I don't even remember because it was so long ago. But basically, this was to me like one of my first like songs that I would really listen to. 2013, that's it.
Oh wow.
It
Okay.
was one of the first like electronic songs that I really started to actually like be like, oh, this is amazing. I
The,
love this.
the one that you put on repeated for the whole day.
Exactly. It's a song I used to listen to on the way back during marching band days on the bus at late at night whenever everyone's like pretty much asleep and I was sleeping too. I would have this song playing on loop in my ears while I was asleep on the bus on the way home. And so this song brings a lot of those memories from the young days. And then I also use this song whenever I buy a new pair of headphones. I use it to test out my audio gear that I buy.
Because you already know that song so much.
Because exactly, you have to use a song that you know so much that you're able to know, like, okay, there's supposed to be a part here, picking out parts and whatnot. And so I use this song to test out new audio products that I get in.
I actually have one song for that, and it's from Korn, my favorite group.
Ah, corn.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah.
And there's a song that every time that I'm buying a headphones or I'm buying a speaker, I go with my iPad and I say, okay, I'm gonna listen to this song full volume. I'm sorry to to everybody who's around me, but this is how I know if it really works. So cool. And then does this song take you to? So this got you hooked up into electronic.
Yes, this definitely got me hooked into electronic music for sure.
Okay.
And I would love to make something like this someday. I mean, I'm almost there. I don't have the dubstep parts down, but everything else I'm able to do pretty easily.
Okay, and within the electronic, because I know it's like saying rock, you don't mean
Yeah,
anything. So what would you
right.
say is your favorite subgenres, if we can say it like that?
Oh, your screen's green for me there. Okay, we're good now.
Okay.
My favorite subgenre. It actually fluctuates
Okay.
depending on what I'm listening to. So
Mhm.
I know as of right now, I would say I'm into future house as well as like a little bit of complextro with like retro stuff.
Okay.
There's one artist specifically who's a good friend of mine who does really good retro complextro stuff, and that's his name is Retrograde. Really awesome guy. Highly recommend him. Song in particular, he did a collaboration with a famous artist called Storezzo, and they
Okay.
made a song called Time Travel. Freaking love that song. It's really, really good. The
Okay.
drop specifically is nuts. I love it.
All right. All right. Time travel. I think it sounds familiar from a YouTube video. Probably
Maybe
I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna link into it. Okay, so complex. How do you say it again?
complextro. So it's complex and then TRO at the end. It's
Okay.
all it is just dubstep, but
Mm-hmm.
instead of being at a 90 beat per minute tempo, it's at a 128 beat per minute tempo.
Okay. Okay. Oh look, I'm learning into electronic today. I feel like a student. All right, so you're pretty much into that. And outside of electronic, what would you say are your two or your other genre that if you kind of listen or you're tired of electronic that day, where would you go to?
Rock.
Okay.
I mean, I when I was a kid, I was in love with 3 Days Graces.
Mm-hmm.
3 Days Grace. That's it. Specifically, their 1X album, obviously.
Okay. Okay. Everybody goes to rock. I like that. Rock is
It
everywhere.
well for us music lovers, of course,
Mm-hmm.
rock is going to be one of our favorites.
Yeah.
To the common folk, sorry, common folk, it's not the case.
Yeah. And which one is the genre that you say that you don't go to? Like if you hear that on the radio, you're not even gonna
Hip
even end
hop,
up.
hip hop. I listen,
Okay.
listen, people. I I I like the genre in the aspect of how creative the lyrics are.
Okay.
I don't like the lyrics at the same time. I like the here's my explanation. I like the lyrics of the past.
Okay.
The lyrics of today are garbage. I don't need to know any sexual stuff going on in my music. I don't need that. I just want to hear some good written stuff. I just don't need to know about what your girl looks like or how you or where you want to bang your girl. I don't need to know that stuff. That's my personal taste. So if you like that stuff, by all means, but that's not me.
If you knew Spanish and listen to something that they are singing in Spanish, you would forget the whole language in a second. My God, reggaeton. It's interesting. Well, who knows? Maybe I have a reggaeton singer one day here, and we'll talk about that. We'll see. So,
Maybe.
yeah, you never know. That's the power of the internet, right? So, okay, let's see. I think it's time that we'll listen to your song.
Absolutely.
Let's listen to what TailwindZ have. So everybody, go ahead, grab a good pair of headphones, and listen to Braken. to the Stars from Monster Cat Uncaged. That's on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on Spotify as well.
Yes, they do have a Spotify link.
Perfect. And we'll be right back. And we're back. Wow. Wow, I like it. I like the drum and bass. I really like drum and bass, so got me hooked up. So it's a mix, right, between dubstep, drum and bass, and
Yes, and that's a genre. It is called drumstep.
drumstep. I never heard of that. I never heard of that. I like it. It's happy, but epic at the same time.
Yes, it's grandiose, but at the same time, it's so simple. Because listening to it nowadays, to me, it's like, wow, this is a simpler mix than I thought it was. But at the same time, that's because I have like almost half a decade of music composing experience, so I can pick that up. But then when you're listening to it without that experience, you think, wow, this is so grandiose and just big.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm on that part.
Yeah.
And okay, wow. And what, you were listening to this as you were sleeping on a bus?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, people judge me because I listen to Korn. And you were sleeping to all this happening. Oh my God.
It was so loud on the bus, man.
So technically that was a little bit smoother than everything that was going on.
Man's gotta sleep.
All right. So wow. And now you're looking into composing this kind. Would you like to keep into the drum step? Or you're pretty much open to whatever the road throws at you?
As of right now, I am open to whatever the road throws at me, but at the same time, I do want to make sure I have a specific genre that my brand is attached to.
Okay.
So that way I have people that want to come specifically for that instead of just being random all over the place.
Right.
Of course, that also does have its advantages of being able to do many different things, but at the same time, it's nice to be able to just go to and work on something that you know you are capable of, know you're used to working on,
right.
So you know it's going to come out high quality.
Right. No, I agree. And what's TailwindZ dream? What would you like? I mean, what's that? I don't know. 20 years from now, you're leaving from composing, making music, and you want to see within that game or in what?
20 years from now, I would actually still love to be composing. I want to compose for as long as I can, honestly. That's my only road that I have planned, in all honesty. And that's what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. I don't see a reason to have to retire from something you love doing. So
word. Totally true. It's glad that you found your passion and that you're looking into it. What would you say is your next step? You have to start composing more, destroying. How do you think you can get a little bit bigger within the plans that you have?
I think the first thing I want to do is sort of expand my boundaries a little bit more.
Okay.
And then at the same time, I also want to find just that one opportunity where I can be able to like complete a project. Because right now I'm on a couple fan game projects and then the custom mod stuff for Rivals of Aether. The Rivals of Aether stuff is nice and all, but those are custom mods and I only make like one song for each of the custom mods. So there's not really much I can do to expand on that.
Right.
And then the fan game stuff is like, that stuff's not guaranteed to actually come out. And most of the time there's a low chance that it fully comes out. There are some demos of games that I have worked on with my music in it, and they are well loved by the communities that they're in, but those games aren't fully complete yet. So the whole soundtrack hasn't been out yet. And even then the whole soundtrack isn't complete yet. So it's just a matter of me trying to find some sort of project that I know will be completed in my hopes, not too long of a time.
Mhm.
But of course, I'm not the master of time. I don't know how long things would take.
The Master of Time. Now we're going to Marvel Universe. Would you imagine Tailwind being a composer within a Marvel multiverse universe or
I am
whatever?
not Alex McCalca.
Well, why not?
We
In
can
the
let
future.
him do the soundtrack for Avengers.
What do you say about the soundtrack of Avengers? Do you say it's a good one or it's? I have found on the internet that apparently it's not that really loved within the music production. Like everybody loves it, it's iconic, but meh.
What was the name of it again?
From any soundtrack, from for example, let's take the Avengers iconic theme, you know, pam 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 pam.
Oh, okay. So the reason why movie soundtracks aren't as well known
Mhm.
is because that's not what people are going for. They're not going in to listen to the music on the movie. They're there to watch the movie.
Right.
So the music of movie soundtracks is just meant to put you in the atmosphere. That's all it's really there for. Otherwise, that would be the big reason why people don't like really listen to movie soundtracks as much. Of course, there are some songs from some movies that do break that mold, like the main Avengers theme, but that's because it's a leitmotif. So because it's a leitmotif, it's used a lot, so people know it.
Right.
But if it's a song that's used only in that one movie instead of the rest of the series, nobody's gonna really want to listen to it unless they're able to pick it out, and that's not super common.
Right. Right. I mean, I do like it, and I like to listen in video games. Going back to video games a lot. For example, Castlevania: Lord of Shadows.
Yes.
My God, you can put that to anybody, and don't tell them that it's from a video game, and they can enjoy that.
Right, and that's something I like to try to do with my music.
Okay, and you will. You will. It's something that you can adapt to a project, but if you put it outside of the project, it's still amazing.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. I'll tell you what. As we're going into the final part of the podcast, which I love having you here and getting your feedback on all this and learning a little bit about your music taste and history. I'll shut up myself. I'll put mute on my microphone, which, as you notice, is I'm not as crazy as on the other podcasts that I have. I try to behave.
If only it were on the other one too.
Oh yeah. If we were on the other one and Houston was around,
yeah, then sparks fly.
yeah. So let me mute myself. Go ahead, tell us what's going on with your life, your projects, how to follow you and find you anywhere.
All right, so you can go on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/c/tailwinds. And feel free to subscribe. I try to make as much music as I can. Usually I try to upload bi-weekly unless there's a song that I really like and want to make a remix of as soon as possible. Then it's just another random upload. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/tailwinds. Links to those are also on the channel as well. I also have a Discord server. You can click the link in any one of my videos or on the channel to join the Discord server. And in terms of future projects, there's not much I can really say because there's stuff that I can't talk about in terms of potential partnerships. But in terms of fan game projects, I work on one called Sonic Quantum Collision. We're going to be doing a lot more work on that, and soon we'll be revealing more information, hopefully, about one of the zones and hopefully the music for it. Because I'm not gonna lie, the music for this zone that we're gonna be revealing hopefully soon is my favorite music that I've composed on this soundtrack. So it's gonna be fun.
Great, great. And I'll make sure to have all your links and social media, Discord on our description as well. So people go ahead, follow him, stalk him. Let's find out what that project is going on. Don't stalk him. That's not nice unless you're a nice stalker, which
Yeah, I already have one. I don't need more.
Mike, do you have a stalker?
I wouldn't say a stalker, but I have a weird fan.
Okay.
Very, very, very nice, but he's weird.
Okay, so
I don't like saying names, so
no, don't worry. Let's not say names. But if there any weird fan who wanna be a weird fan with TailwindZ, so you might go as well and join the
I
club.
appreciate all the love. So don't worry, I'm not calling anybody out.
All right, so go ahead, follow him. Thank you for being in this episode, TailwindZ.
It's
it
a
was
pleasure.
fun. I hope to have you soon once we have that project out in the woods and we know what it is. It would be great to have you again.
That'll be a long while.
All right, we'll have you here. Don't worry. Music has staying for a long time. And we'll see you in another episode. Bye-bye.
Have a good